Good evening. My name is Steve Fulton. I'm with the Niagara Peninsula branch, and I just want to welcome you. I'm with my family this weekend up at Peely Provincial Park, and I realized at the last moment there was no Wi-Fi at our campsite, so I had to run down to the visitor site. Let me start by sharing. So tonight, what we want to do is we want to go over our website. We haven't done this in some time. Our website is full of great information, and some people may not be aware of what's on our website. So just bear with me. And then we're going to talk a little bit about local resources as well. It's not always about Niagara. We like to promote others as well. So if you've got an interest, and I can take questions throughout the talk, and I can give you some direction if you're looking for something. I may not know where everything is, but I can at least point you in the right direction. So let me see if I can share my screen here. Welcome to the Niagara Peninsula Branch's website, where a lot of blood, sweat, and tears have gone into it. I want to thank Amanda, and there's Joanne, and others on the council who have all contributed to this website. So what I want to do is just walk you through. Our website is, we try to make it as free as possible for those who are researching. There is a members only section, and if you're a member of our branch, we would welcome you to explore those resources, and we'll get into that in just a moment here. But right off the hop, I just want to go under the research, because there's a lot of things here that people may not be completely aware of. But the first thing right off the hop is submitting a research request. And you may not know where to start, but we have an amazing research team. There's 4 of them, and they're just a plethora of information. And we do research by donation. So we don't expect people to pay $40 or $50 or $60 before we even crack a book. We'll crack the book. And I'll be very honest, our research team is very busy because of that policy and how we do that. But we do encourage you to donate whatever amount, but these people put in a lot of work, and we use these funds to do things on our website or donate or stuff like that. Submitting a research request is really easy. You can just go into the form, fill out as much information as possible so that our people aren't going back and forth. As well, we do have public access resources. We have local government records, public domain books, public family histories. Some people have donated their family history to the branch, and they've allowed us to digitize them and to put them online. If that is something that would interest you, I would encourage you to reach out. We all know that we're not going to be here forever. And what are we going to do with our family histories? We can leave them to our kids. That may not serve all your research, your 30 years of research that well. You can put it in a library, or you can store it, or you can do both. You can give it to a genealogical society and a library, and rest assured that it would be taken care of. So yeah, the Steele family history, if you have any relations with the Steele family history, there's a small write-up that the person donated, sent us. And then what we've done is we've broken down the family history to single pages. Click on, you can read. They're just fantastic, full of information. And I would love to grow this area and put additional family histories in here as well. So with that, go back to the public access. So local government records. I hope if you've got a second screen, you're on our website and you are exploring as I'm talking and coming up with questions, because it would be a great thing for you to learn about our site. We love to pack things onto it, and we love people that are using it. We have public access, so we have family histories, public scrapbooks. School yearbooks is a project we've been working on. It does take time to make this, because we're trying to collect not only maybe from a public library, but we're trying to collect from a school or just people that went to the school. So we've actually completed the Pelham Phoenix, which is a high school in Pelham that's no longer around. And we were actually able to digitize the entire collection. So now, for the first time, people with connections to Pelham have a complete collection because it was very broken up. Nobody really had the full collection, and we were able to get that done, and it worked really well. And we wanted to thank those contributors. So here are some of the pictures that are coming up, and we've actually digitized them in-house with your research dollars and membership dollars. Our branch goes out and purchases equipment that we can use, and mobile equipment that we can move from our home to a library or to a local museum like the Welland Museum, and we can capture this stuff because it's so important. So we've got the Pelham Phoenix and we've got Welland High, and we'll also have Westbrook, that is part of the same high school. But we're trying to get this project on the go. So if you have suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. And finally, in the public access resources, for the longest time, we had the surname pedigree charts in our members only area. And honestly, we really got thinking about it and we're like, let's make these public. Let's not hoard this. And these are fantastic. Some, as you've seen on the page, some of these go back 1980 and 1990s. And they're regular run of the mill. And you have to take a grain of salt because people filled them out and submitted them to the branch. And are they correct? I don't know, but it might be a great starting point. I know there's approximately, and I know someone who worked on the project may tell me that my number's a little small, but I think there's about 25,000 pedigree charts, tons of information, and you may have submitted one yourself. You may find yours. I know mine's in here, and I know I have to update it. There are 12 books, and they are full of information. But note this, and I can hear Joanne saying this, and I'm pretty sure she's on tonight. Joanne's probably saying, Steve, make sure you tell them that you can have a one-page pedigree or there can be 40 pages. So when you are scrolling through, make sure that you look because there can be multiple pages been submitted. Thanks, Joanne, for dropping that in my ear. And Joanne's not with me. I just know she's saying that. One of the other resources as well is Métis Ancestors. It's a PDF book that we were able to download and to open up. I'm hoping my bandwidth I'll let that load. And it's a great resource if you have Métis Ancestors or you're not just 100% sure where to start with those resources. See, no, it's still loading. While we wait for that, I just want to go down to resources, maps. I love maps. Maps for research. You can find research maps. Brock University has a plethora of maps from the early 1800s, hand-drawn of what the Niagara Peninsula was like back in the time. You could spend all day. I'm a big believer that you need to understand your geography to understand your genealogy. We can't apply today's standards to where our ancestors were in 1840. It just simply that wouldn't make sense. One of the other things that we pride ourselves on is a cemetery map of Niagara. I know our cemetery guy, Joe, put this together, and it's just a Google map. It may take a moment to load, but here's this Métis Ancestors of Ontario. Again, it's a PDF document, public document. You can download it, and you can go through that free on our website. Go and grab that.
Steve, sorry.
So, yep.
Lois is asking, not our Lois, it's a different Lois. It's Lois Logan. Okay. Sorry. She's asking if there's an index to the
Index to
Pedigree charts.
index to the pedigree chart. Yes, and I will get there. That is a great question, Lois, and I will show that to you in just a moment. So again, resources, maps. Brock University has a huge archival history collection. You can get onto their website from our website, and you can explore maps and different material. As well, we've also linked to Family Search Wiki for Lincoln County and Welland County. It's another great resource for very obscure websites. So you can check that out as well. I know Bill, our lead researcher, who is a retired teacher, did a lot of work with educational in Niagara. So he put a whole page and did all this research work in how to research educational records in Niagara. And so, as you can see here, the timelines of when schools were opened and different places you can look, different links, good information, because, hey, we all spend a considerable amount of time in a school, and there's lots of good information. Ridley College is in here, which is unique to Lincoln County, a private school. Brock University, Niagara College, the Catholic School Board, and the District School Board as well. And so some of our extracts from Notes from Niagara. So again, another great resource if you're trying to research down the education line. Let's see here. What else do we have here? So we have searchable indexes, and Lois, I'll get to that in just a moment. And family search probate records. This is not where I'm experienced in, but our research people said that this was good information and that I needed to get it onto the website. So I got it onto the website. Those who have the skills in probate records, these are considerable for Welland County and for Lincoln County, but it just links you directly over to Family Search and takes you right to where the records are and their location and all the information on it. We have affiliate libraries. We have Beamsville, we have Thorold, we have St. Catharines, all 5 branches. I know Welland's working on it, and Niagara Falls is working on it, and Fleet has got it as well. Affiliate libraries, if your library is not an affiliate library, get in touch with them, and it's completely free, and get into touch with us, and we will assist as well. Like I said, again, lots and lots of information that you can go through. Even our local library, which is housed at the St. Catharines Public Library, it's our physical collection. If you ever come to St. Catharines or live in St. Catharines, you know that the Central Branch has a great special collections, and then Niagara's collection is right there with it. And we do have a index that you can search for books within our library. And I'm hoping this will just take a second to load. If there's a link that you would like to go to try to find a book, go to WorldCat. So World, WORLDCAT.org. It is a global index of books in libraries all over the world. And if you're looking for a very obscure book, type it in there and it will actually tell you the closest library that has it. Because, hey, who wants to travel 500 kilometers to a library to get something when the library down the street has actually got its own copy? You can go to WorldCat. But here's our master library collection. And in here, you can actually type in the title after this is done loading, and you can search our collection. So absolutely, here is a master index, and you can search for the title, the author, and you can completely go through that. So that is available for you to do. So let's see. We have our marketplace. All of our publications, cemetery publications that were done in the past of over 350 cemeteries, I believe we have in Lincoln and Welland County. They are all digitally online. You can pay an absorbent fee of $5 and you can download the cemetery publication. Now, some of our cemetery publications are $20. They are much, much bigger, and like Victoria Lawn. For $20, you can get it digitally downloaded immediately and continue on your research. I will show you that a little bit more when we get into the master index. One of the last couple things that I want to show you, Amanda sent out a newsletter a couple days ago, and we had 3 people volunteer to transcribe. And I really hope that those folks are on here tonight. And if they're not, I'll email them. Either way, I'm emailing you about this. But transcribing can't get much easier. And that's what it's all about in Niagara. We like to do a lot of work by doing very little. But we like to contribute because if we can contribute, it's a gift that keeps on giving because people start their family history every day. So if we click on the transcribing project and we're still working through it, we have lots of different things that we are trying to put on here. And if you have 2 monitors or even 1 monitor, you can do a split screen. You can actually click on, for example, I'll show you the police files. And this is from the city of Thorold. They used to have their own police department, and they had their own ledger book that they documented who they arrested and all that good stuff.
Audrey wants to know if the probate records are listed by name.
That is a great question, Audrey. I would encourage you to go and click on that link and check it out. Or if Joanne's on the call, maybe Joanne can
Joanne just
send a
answered,
message.
no, they're not. Good job, Joanne.
There we go. I knew she'd be on. So what happens with this transcribing project, and you can do this at home with your fuzzy bunny slippers, you can actually see the images on one screen, and we have put an online Excel sheet on that you can put on another screen. And you can literally transcribe first name, last name, and the requirements that's in the columns. And you never have to worry about submitting anything because it's automatically captured into our system. And so we're always looking for transcribers. And I will get to the index part, but what you're doing here will end up in the master index. They're slowly loading up. I'll come back to them in just a second here. I'm going to close that other one off. Hopefully that will cause this to load up a little bit quicker. There we go. Some of these may be hard for you to see on your screen. They are smaller. I'm waiting. There we go. It's starting to open right now. The image is much better than what you're seeing on your screen right now, but it takes a lot of effort. This police book is, you got to be well versed in cursive writing. I tried to get a young student to work with this, and we ended up teaching him cursive writing because he couldn't read this. But it's something that he can now take forward because he's learned. This is the kind of thing, you can put it on your screen, you can read this document, you can index it onto the Excel file, and then we can add it to our master index. We've got school census records, we've got, that's the majority, school census, we've got some Thorold financial, assessment and collector rules, and a police file. There's much more. I'm going to be working with summer students in the next couple weeks, and I'm very confident there's going to be much, much more on this site, and we are always looking for transcribers to do this. We've got a link to Canadian Headstone, cemetery hunting. We've got some YouTube videos for those cemetery junkies out there like me. Love cemeteries. I think maybe I should do a webinar from a cemetery. I think that would be fun. Yeah, I'll think about that one. All right. Let's just switch right over to education session, media. We've got different programs that we're doing, meeting recordings. This recording, Amanda, I know this is being recorded, but I want this to be free on our site. So don't worry about scribbling things down. You can watch this over and over again.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. The one thing that we do have is learning videos that Lois, a member of our council, did, and they're fantastic. And it takes a lot of effort, but they're basic videos. Not basic, they're complex. Lois did an amazing job putting them together, but she talks in a very basic sense to help people understand maps of Niagara, land records. Like, we need to know a ton of stuff about land records. There's always, I asked her to put actually land records with known lots and concessions because I just didn't simply understand. But once I watched the video, it was great. Township papers, Upper Canada, you can read it all here using Internet Archive. These are great videos. And I would encourage you, if you're an expert in something in Niagara and you want to do a small video and share it on our website, I'd love to post it. I would encourage you, let's contribute, because genealogy is all about not the now. It is when my third great grandchild picks it up. Will these resources be online? It's a great resource. So I'm going
Steve,
to quickly get into, yeah,
sorry, Wanda wants to know if there are any maps prior to 1800.
there are some hand-drawn maps from Brock University. Okay. I would click on the Brock University and go explore their maps there. In our members only area, I'm not going to dive into all of this, but we have book collections. We have all sorts of stuff that we want to put here. But one of the things that I want to focus on is, because we're a border county, I can skip over the border in 10 minutes. So could our ancestors. Well, they didn't have a car. Maybe it took them a couple hours. We promote also New York State, any sort of indexes or information that our ancestors could be buried in. There is Forest Lawn Cemetery and over in Buffalo, and there is a lot of Canadians buried over there. And they do have an index, and you can just Google Forest Lawn Cemetery, and it will take you there. We also have the marriages of the suspension bridge that went over the Niagara Falls, Niagara River. And we had the Canadian version, and we also have the US version. You'll find that in here as well. Periodicals, military collections. You could spend all day in this area. And honestly, for $14, you could become a member of Niagara. You would probably get hundreds of dollars worth of resources if you want to look at it in a monetary. We need to have a conversation about indexes on the Niagara site. And then I did promise to share a few obscure websites in Niagara with you before we wrap up tonight. So let's see here. Oh, if you click under research and searchable indexes, there's the Forest Lawn burial records right there. You don't even have to Google it. You will find it right there. So you can click on that and you can search, and you may be able to find your ancestors. That's a great cemetery, massive cemetery. They actually do tours, and I'd love to go and do a tour sometime. It would be great fun. I'm going to have to look at that link. So this is our Lincoln and Welland Master Index. This index is a collection of approximately 20 indexes, small, large, medium, that we have brought together under one roof. And the beauty of this is now on our branch website, you don't have to look at multiple indexes to see if you can find somebody. And I'm just going to use my great-grandfather, for example, because he's got some unique records. So you just type in the surname, the given name. You can do just the surname. You can just do the given name. You can do the record type. You can just search one particular record type. So this is George John Warden, my great-grandfather on my grandmother's side. And he's got lots of different things. So we have cemetery publications. We have the Morrison Son Funeral Home records. So they're all been indexed as well. We have the Florence Neff Young Index, which is out of Port Colborne in Welland. It's a newspaper collection. And then we've also got the surname pedigree charts. So if you put your pointer over the I button, it will give you information about that particular index. So like the Morrison Son Funeral Home, records from the original Morrison Son Funeral Home ledger with records of births, burials, 1831 to 19. Morrison Sons is the oldest funeral home in Canada, and we were able to digitize and index all that information. So the purpose of this is the front end of the index. This index actually also resides on Ancestry. And I'm pleased to share that it will soon reside on MyHeritage as well, this front part. If you were to use that index on Ancestry or MyHeritage and you click for more information, it will actually bring you back to our website. It allows our branch to be relative in a very digital world. This index is designed to take you from A all the way to B. It's not going to hang you. And if it does hang you, you need to let us know as soon as possible. It takes you to a secondary page. It provides further information if there is any. And then it provides a link that will take you to the marketplace that you can purchase that publication. This master index will take you 4 different places. It'll take you to the marketplace where you can buy the publication. It will take you to an external website like CanadianHeadstones.com. It will take you to the members only, or it will take you to free resources that are on our website. We believe here in Niagara that we need to build indexes and we need to tear down silos. If someone else is retaining the information, we will gladly send them the web traffic to assist them further their mission. So I would encourage you to use the master index. It's almost 500,000 names, and there'll be more names go on the more we get people transcribing on our website. We can digitize to beat the band every day. I can digitize lots of stuff. Joanne and Lois and others are digitizing, but without transcribers, it makes it difficult. We are working with AI technology to get that sorted, but that is taking time as well. Say if I click on the details for the pedigree charts, again, it will bring up any information that is on there. And then you can actually, if there's no link below, always look at the top because you can view the surname record for free. Eventually down the road, we would like to be able to link you directly to that pedigree chart, but there's a lot of records and that's a lot of manual work. Sometimes you have to old school it just to do something like that. I would encourage you, if you ever go to the Niagara site, always check the master index every time. We don't usually do a big announcement unless we're putting on thousands of names. We could just be updating something or adding some additional names. So that may not get out. That index can change all the time. Again, I would encourage you search by the last name or surname only, or first name, or maybe a date or a location, or you can drop down this here and you can actually select just a particular collection. You don't have to search the whole thing. Lois, I hope that helped you. The surname pedigree charts are indexed, and I would encourage you to check that out. So, Amanda, any questions before I jump to what I was looking for?
Yes, there are 2. Do you have any border crossing records for 1900 to 1908 into Niagara Falls, New York?
Border crossing records are actually on Ancestry. We don't have them, but Ancestry does. And if you don't have Ancestry, you can just go to the local library to use their thing. But I did find my great Aunt Jean on it, so that was neat to check it out. You had another one?
Yeah, the second one is about whether you discuss the projects tab, and I know that you did, but maybe you want to go a little more in depth because you just
Oh,
touched.
I'm sorry. So there is the transcribing project.
Yep.
There's a link to Canadian headstones. And then there's the cemetery hunting page. And I'm waiting for it to load.
Mhm.
Let me see here. This map may have some issues just where I am. And now it's started to rain, so that's fine. Here we go. The map's starting to come up. But in here, some videos that you can check out of us hunting for cemeteries. Here's the cemetery map. It's a great map. All the different links. You can blow it up, view a larger map. That may not be the best idea that I just did. But you can open up the map to a larger map, and it will give you further information about each cemetery. And I'm going to be very confident in what I say, that the GPS coordinates are accurate. So you can just click on a particular link and it'll tell you what the cemetery is, what the township, the county, what the ownership is, and the GPS coordinates, and hopefully the full address. Good way, good information if you're looking for a particular cemetery. And on the right-hand side is one of the videos. Actually, it's a playlist of all the different videos that we've done for different cemeteries. If you have an interest in cemetery dowsing, do a search on YouTube for Niagara Branch and use my name, and that video should come up. And if you've never done cemetery dowsing, it's great fun. We've used it a couple times to solve some problems, and it's like water witching for anybody who's, what is he talking about? It's like water witching, but this time we're doing dowsing for cemetery plots that the headstone's missing.
And it
So
also points out that the YouTube channel is linked in the upper right corner of the website.
follow me on YouTube so you can click on that. Lots and lots and lots of information. I could spend probably 2 or 3 hours going through every little piece of this site. I would encourage you to continue to explore it on a daily basis. If you are not going to websites every 30 to 60 days of your normal sites that you use for genealogy, things are being digitized very rapidly. I just found out in Thorold, and I'm going to get access to, is the Volunteer Fire Hose Protection Company minute books going back to the late 1800s. I'm going to be working with summer students, and we're going to digitize these books, and we're going to get them online. There'll be we'll do one major announcement, but then we'll just keep pouring it on. So it's always advisable to keep going back to your sites to make sure that nothing has changed. So a couple other sites before I wrap this up for the night.
Sorry, Steve. Cass has a question. Is there any information on Fort Erie on the website?
On Fort Erie, that would be, I would look under the master index. There are records for Fort Erie. We do have publications for cemeteries and census. We have all the information, as much information as we've been able to gather for every municipality in Niagara. So I would check it out, but I would check the master index, our publication lists, and see what is available. Actually, I have that feeling Joanne's poking me again, because under research, and you just triggered my memory, under research and publications, if I click on that link, and I can sense that somebody's, yep, that's what you're supposed to do. And boom, we have a publication list. Lincoln County, Welland County, and all the different townships of what publications are available and what are available and what the cost of purchase of these are. We would love to give everything away for free. We would, to be very honest, I would love to give it all away for free. But like any organization, we've got to keep the lights on and we've got to buy digitization equipment, because if people want more stuff, then we have to digitize it. And we need that equipment and we need those resources to do so. I would encourage you to check this out. You can find it under research and publications for that. Was that the last question, Amanda?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you for being so helpful tonight. You're always very helpful, but it makes it difficult when you're Wi-Fi and only looking at one screen. This was one site that I wanted to share people with. Not too many people are aware of it. Wellandhistory.ca. It's an old school site, and there's really no rhyme or reason to different things that are on it. You got to spend some time. This particular photo is of the Niagara Falls Hospital. Doesn't really mean it's Welland, but you can see just different links. Pelham Library, City of Welland, Wainfleet, Museum, and then we get down into our galleries, ads, barns, cemeteries, early citizens, murals, Port Colborne, ships, railways, receipts. Again, a million different things that you can click on and spend a plethora of time. Here we go, photo gallery of early citizens of Welland. Yeah, Margaret Berger, Jean Thomas, Rita from Ridgeville. It's a great site. It's got lots of great information. But again, you're going to have to old school this and go through the different things. We even got pictures of barns, which is cool. Maddock Township. Okay. Let me see. Looks like we might even have some postcards. Okay. There's a particular barn. History.ca. I would encourage you to check that out. There may be information on there. If you do find good information or you come across something on the wellandhistory.ca and it is monstrous in the genealogy community, put it on our Facebook page. Encourage people to go and check it out. We like to support others, and we're all about tearing silos down. We're all in this together, and I would encourage that we promote each other with that. What was the other? Oh, the public libraries. I wanted to put in a plug for the public libraries. Many of the libraries here in Niagara have a newspaper collection, and they are all indexed. There is no central archive here in Niagara. There is no central index for all the newspapers. You're going to have to go to each one individually. St. Catharines has got a local name index. Welland, their library has a local name index, and it gives all the information. Unfortunately, the images aren't online at this time, but you can go and check out each of the libraries. Fort Erie, I know, has a history page, and there's lots of good information on that history page for Fort Erie. Check the museums. Some of the museums have really adopted to digital technology. Some of them have not at all. I know the Welland Museum is working on a new cataloging system, and eventually they will start putting it all online, which will be absolutely fantastic that we can do. Brock University, again, they have a huge section of their website dedicated to archives, to maps, to just a ton of stuff that you can do there. Loyalists, they actually hold the Loyalist records as well for this area. So you can see if you can find it on their website, and then you can always reach out to them and see what's involved in getting a copy of that. No, the Welland History one was the most that I really wanted to promote tonight. Of course, I always want to promote the libraries and museums, and I would encourage you to continue to visit websites, continue to support the local genealogical society. Our volunteers are doing great work. They're a great bunch of people, and it doesn't mean that here's $5 and I don't have to be involved, we would love for you to be involved. We'd love for you to help transcribe, or maybe you can help in cemeteries, or you can help digitize. A lot of this stuff that we do, we can do remotely. And we have the technology, and we would encourage you to get involved, create a video, donate a family history, just help contribute to Niagara's genealogy. And we will thank you, and generations down the road will thank you for your contribution. I think that's pretty much it, Amanda, for the night. Any other
Sounds
questions?
good. No, but I see a few thank yous in there. So thank you, Steve. We always appreciate it when you come on and share your wisdom. I would
No
want
problem.
to mention this is our last webinar until the fall, but we've got a great lineup for the fall. We've got in September the British Home Children. In October, we're going to have the Grimsby Historical Society giving us a presentation. And then in November, we're going to have a fascinating presentation from a professor at Brock University on World War I and World War II. So stay tuned. Make sure you're in our Facebook group and following along. Make sure you're signed up for our newsletter so that you can sign up for these fantastic webinars. And as Steve said, make sure that you paid your dues and that you're helping us to support our work in preserving our heritage.
Have a good night, folks.